Hey guys, it's Holly. So today I wanted to grab all of my brand new Lego Harry Potter 2021 Hogwarts Castle pieces. I mean, besides the flying lesson, admittedly, that comes out on June 1st and I currently don't own that. But when I do, yeah, I'll provide you an updated photo on Instagram and Twitter and all that. But today I really wanted to have a look at all the different ways you can kind of rearrange and combine this brand new Hogwarts modular type system thing. Now, in case you guys didn't know already, all of these sets can connect to all of the pre-existing Hogwarts builds, as all of the Technic holes on the side are exactly the same. They exist on every single level, so these can be connected to the Great Hall, the Clock Tower, the Whomping Willow, the Astronomy Tower, Room of Requirement, all of them. These all can be connected, but in particular with these ones, there's a bunch of stud. The roofs can detach. You can combine these in a multitude of different ways. You could create two giant towers if you really wanted to. So I want to kind of show you guys the best layout that I found in a range of different ones to see how you want to display them. Personally, I think this new system is a big win. I do wish there was a bit more depth to the castle, but at the same time, I feel like the more narrowness really allows people, if you've got a skinny shelf, you can still have a Hogwarts display. You can create tall towers instead of just lengthy displays that continually add on. Hopefully in the future there are a few pieces that do add a tiny bit more depth, just because I feel like when you do attach them with Technic pins, it sort of creates this wall, which you will see in a second. So that's something I would like for the future, but I think this system is amazing. So to start off with, I'm going to create the one that they put in the back of the instruction manual, and majority of this layout revolves around kind of castle accuracy, I want to say, because I really want to have the girls' bathroom above the Chamber of Secrets slide so that I can have that whole extra play feature kind of in working order. But to start off with, we will do that option. So here's the first recommendation as kind of provided by the instructions, and for now I've stuck them all together with the Technic pins so you can kind of see what I mean by it creates a giant straight line. And while I feel like this would work on a really skinny shelf and allow people with less space to display Hogwarts, part of me just doesn't like this, and I know personally I'm going to try and find a bit more space so that I can kind of detach all of the Technic holes, angle them and things like that, just to make it look a bit more exciting, give it a bit more depth, because this entire thing looks very flat. Now, another thing I want to point out with this layout is kind of the whole rocky situation. I love the way the rocks look in this new system. It looks incredible. But the problem I kind of have is all of the rocks kind of continue on, and then it starts to go tan, then all of a sudden we've got rocks again, and then this area which has roof pieces on it is then at the bottom. I don't know, it just kind of looks a bit funky to me using this situation. However, it's a lot better when you kind of turn the entire castle around. So here's the entire thing all turned around. So as you can see, you've got the whole part from the Philosopher's Stone with the third floor and Fluffy. The trapdoor actually goes down to the Devil's Snare now, which is amazing. Then next to it, you've got Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, and then the bathroom sink can lift up and access to the Chamber of Secrets slide and let you down into that whole kind of rocky area. You've got the big Great Hall, looks really nice. The rest of the pieces I feel like don't really matter too much. It's specifically, I think, in my opinion, and what I want to try and do, it's just really the Chamber of Secrets and that slide. I want them ideally to be on top of each other. Same with Fluffy and that Devil's Snare. I want those things to match up because that's how it works in the movie. That's theoretically how this system should work. Everything else, to me, I feel like is a matter of just mix and match, see what works best. But like I said, this whole thing when connected with Technic, it just feels very flat. And I think from a playset point of view, this is absolutely perfect. Like I would play with this a lot if I was a kid. Like this is the type of thing that I would love to do, and why I loved my 2010 Hogwarts so much. But for me now, as an adult collector, I want this thing to have a lot of depth. Usually I probably won't have it turned around from this section, so I guess kind of the whole thing about the levels matching up really doesn't matter, but just in my head I want to know that that's okay, just in case I do end up turning it around. So I want to detach them now and kind of manipulate them and kind of pose them to give it a bit more depth. While the angles are only extremely slight, to me, at least in person, this just feels a lot more natural, a lot better. I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all personal preference, but that is the kind of recommended setup. So let's kind of take this apart and see what else we can come up with. This one I like to call Hogwarts Extra Large. Now, I did kind of have to do a bit of removing of pieces. For example, I've removed one of the Great Great Hall roofs, and I've taken off kind of Hedwig on a little platform to get this one. But this one I like a bit better because the Defense Against the Dark classroom is a lot higher up, so it actually gives it more of a roof. I mean, the rocks kind of make a bit more continuity sense, except for, you know, Lockhart's classroom. I really feel like there needed to be some more 8x8 sections to kind of make this work, but this is another one just in case you don't quite have the length, but you have more height. I mean, I guess it's a bit better if you remove the Chamber of Secrets, which to me kind of just doesn't really fit in general. And this option too keeps the bathroom on top of the Chamber of Secrets slide and Fluffy on top of the Devil's Snare, which personally, big win for me. And here's a quick look at how that layout works from the inside. This next combination I feel like has a lot of chaotic energy. So in total, I've taken out the center of the Great Hall section, the one as well on the right, that kind of balcony bit, as well as the Devil's Snare, and we've gotten this kind of straight brick wall block of Hogwarts buildings, which actually, you know, continues the kind of rocky surface all in total. It keeps the bathroom on top of the Chamber of Secrets, although Fluffy's trapdoor does directly lead on top of the Great Hall, so there's that as well. But, you know, purely from an outside point of view, I shockingly don't hate this. I thought this was going to be horrible. Part of me actually really liked the way the Great Hall roof kind of lines up with Lockhart's office there in particular, and I don't know, there's just something about this one. And this is what it looks like from the inside, and honestly, you're not missing a lot of kind of the play features and action. Like, you've really gotten rid of kind of the empty spaces, because believe it or not, that Devil's Snare doesn't really scream to me excitement. But the rest of this, it actually works, and it is very sturdy because you can connect the two bottom pieces with Technic. You could even do the same for the next level if you really wanted to. Technically, Fluffy's now on the 3rd floor, so I don't know. I mean, the trapdoor doesn't line up, but I think this works, as much as I hate to admit it. Here's another variation, and this is the first time I've taken off the Great Hall from the Chamber of Secrets base, which, because of the way that's all designed, I had to like remove an entire section of the Great Hall's interior, which then left it with like some open studs on the interior, but also kind of these little plates here are all just hanging off. I mean, it doesn't look that bad from too far away, but it is something to note. And shockingly, I really don't hate this one either. It's really annoying because I feel like this just looks weird, but I don't hate it. Once again, this whole thing is incredibly secure and also does keep the storyline continuity going. I honestly feel like I could just make this one giant tower, which is what I'm going to try and attempt now. So to put a long story short, the mission was successful, and I've managed to make a giant Tower of Hogwarts. This thing just looks ridiculous, but I think it's kind of funny at the same time. I mean, it's like the Ninjago City Gardens of Hogwarts buildings. And I mean, it works. It's probably not very practical, but it works in case you want to do this method. Totally viable. Wouldn't recommend though. So let's actually go with like the version that I think works the best. So back to reality now, and here's the version that I actually think looks the best. I much prefer this kind of like 2-leveled, wider, slightly version. The Chamber of Secrets to me, like I said, just doesn't feel like it fits. I mean, you can tack it wherever. I mean, probably just layer it up on the inside, but this is the one that makes most sense to me. I still feel like it's not perfect. I don't think it ever will be unless we get more pieces in the future. I'm also interested to see how the flying lesson kind of fits in, because that's kind of that 8x16 type of version. But let me know what you guys think of this 2021 modular system. I am a massive fan of it, and I just hope we get more in the future. Once again, just with the grey roofs, like, let's go back. I'm gonna swap all of these out as well in the future. I'm just waiting on a few more pieces to arrive, so that will be kind of a Hogwarts mock-up day. I'll swap out all of the roofs, combine it with all of the other castles. We'll kind of see how that looks. And also, when I get the flying lesson, I will take a photo of kind of this layout with that set included as well and modify it, and I'll just post that to Instagram and Twitter. I probably won't do another video for that, but yeah, let me know your thoughts on this stuff. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below as well. I have tons of other Harry Potter content coming up. I'm super excited. So if that's something you're interested in, yeah, please consider subscribing. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.